Hello everyone and welcome back to Rose Lane again. Okay, we are going to work a little bit more today on I guess I'm calling the Angela Kerr piece, just for identification purposes, I suppose. And that is, let me get this out of the way. I don't, of course, have any pictures. Well, I do have pictures, but I have not printed them of the piece that I had done for Angela. But we'll just review this again. On Angela's piece that I sent her for her friendship journal was the trifold. Get a bunch of stuff done. I showed you that I made this little booklet for the, instead of a tag or anything like that. And the pages go like this. So to the left, there's just 3 papers, and then to the right on this side. So it's a narrow journal to fit inside the tuxedo pocket, but it gives you a rather large page to write on. So that was that. So this was the pocket that goes on here, and then when you flip this page, and we're not there yet, this will be the belly band. This is where a small mini journal will go. We're going to start with this page, which is the collaging, this little piece right here. And when you turn the page, it's going to collage right straight across. Now, this is what I did because I have to be symmetrical, and since this was going to be the center signature with 2 signatures on either side of the journal that I'm doing, it's going to be bound down here. So I have this part, let me just put this back over here. I have this part here, and now I'll have this part here as well. Okay, so it's going to go like that. And what happens is these open up like this. Here's the bound section, and they open up like this. And when you fold them over, they'll look like that. Okay, and the same thing on this side. It opens up like this, it's bound here, and you flip it over, and then you've got the rest of it on the back. So that's, we actually gained 2 more pages here that I'm going to have to play with, but that's okay. So for right now, what I want to do, and I'm going to have to take this little piece off of here because I have a paper clip on it, and we're going to work here on this page. We're going to go right from here and go all the way over, okay? And this was my little thing. With Angela's, I just tore paper, rather small pieces, that I had used throughout the piece, and other pieces that I thought would coordinate. Today, these pages that I'm going to use coordinate with the main pages of the journal, but they're not the same journal pages. And I have 3. These are, can't remember where I got these from. I'll have to look that up. This could have been my porch prints. It could have been somebody else. These I know come from JournalCentric. These pages that I'm using here are from JournalCentric. And we're going to use these to collage today. Actually, let me kind of keep these separated. So what we're going to do is we're going to just come over from here. We're going to go right across. But what I have here, I made very quickly some little pockets. Now these are just from waste paper. I have, well, every now and then I have a printer that decides it has to have a nervous breakdown and doesn't read files right and spits out all these pages. So instead of throwing them away, I use them for whatever. So in this case, I cut them up into these little pockets. So what we're going to do is I made these little pockets from templates that I've made for myself, and I keep my edges just square because I may want them square, I may want to cut them on a diagonal, I may want to round the corner, I may want to use a corner punch, you know, whatever you might want to do. So I let the shape come after I cut it. This case I didn't really care. So we're going to ignore this because this is going to fold over for right now. I'm going to put this pocket right here, I'm going to put this pocket, you can see I did them very quickly, this pocket right here within the fold. I'm going to do another pocket this way on top of this pocket, and then this pocket is going to go there. Okay, I know that looks strange, but you'll see what happens. What we're actually going to do, and I will glue these down, is we're going to collage over them but leave the openings. And what they'll do is create hidden pockets within the page. Okay, you won't really see the pockets except that we're going to have a tab that sticks out of them, but the tabs I'm still trying to decide. I think I'm probably just going to make them, I don't want to make it too hard to find them. I'll make them out of just a coordinating cardstock or something like that. We'll see which one I choose. But anyway, so this is what we're going to do. So let me do these first. Let's get these down. I'm leaving the top flap up because we want that to be a pocket, okay? We don't want it to fold over. So I'm going to try to get these down quickly. This is the third video I'm trying to get done today. I have the two up and I'm trying to get to this part. So let's get some glue on here and place this where we think we want the pocket. Now we want to make sure that we leave enough room so that when we put a tab on here, it won't stick out over the top. All right, the next one that's going to go on is this one. We're going to put that there. Not sure if you see me or not, and it doesn't matter what color these pockets are because really you won't see them. I mean, when you take a tag out and you pull it forward, you might be able to see it a little bit, but I highly doubt it. So we're going to put this one here, like that. Then this one's going to go here. Now I haven't cut any tags for this, but that's not really a problem. At least not at the moment. I may just do a lot of this off camera. This is really the main part that I wanted to show you. Put this down a little lower. There we go. Hopefully they're basically straight. And then this one, because this is where the page will be, we'll have it so that the tag will be able to be taken out on the outside, which means on this side of the page it'll go the other way. I'm not going to try to make different patterns on the two pages. I said we don't want to confuse everybody. Hidden is one thing. Drive you crazy is something else. Okay, so we're going to do this one sideways over here. I'm going to put that as over closer to the center binding part as possible. Again, so that the tag, when we put a tab on it, it won't stick out. So this is what we're going to do. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to just start tearing some paper, okay? I'm not going to make them really small necessarily, except that I do want them kind of small to get up and over here. We want to put the first ones down here to cover that tab, okay? That's the first thing we're going to do. So we're just going to each one of those. And then we'll just work from there. Probably the next part we'll do is to do on top of the pocket and then move down from there. And I don't want to use all the same paper everywhere I go. So I'm just randomly tearing. And if you want, because there's probably going to be a little bit of white on the edges of these, I'm not going to try to ink each one individually here. What I'll do is when I'm done with all of this and satisfied with what I have, I just want to make sure I don't cover that edge, and satisfied with what I have, I will go ahead and just run an inker across the top of this. I'm going to do just a little piece right here. Because again, like what I'm saying is I just want to get these flaps that are glued down covered. Okay, and you can go over this line. That's fine, because it's all one piece. That would be okay. All right, let's go to this one. Okay. I'll try to get rid of that a little bit. And we'll start going over this. And it doesn't have to go, you know, in the direction. We'll actually take this one, we'll go right over the edge of the page here. Okay. So it's kind of boring if I just sit here and explain this to you. So I guess we can talk a little bit about some things, what's going on. In my last video, I said that I am rapidly approaching, it would seem, if I stay on course with how many people have been subscribing to my channel, it would be pretty amazing that I might reach 1,000 subscribers in a very short amount of time. So, and here too, we can go over the edge of this page. That's fine, and we'll play with that later. I probably will not finish this whole thing. I just want to show you how this works. I'm not going to keep it all on camera to try to do the whole thing while we're videotaping. So let me get a piece of paper so you can see what I'm doing here. So here's a pocket. Well, this is wider than the pocket. Here's a pocket. Okay, here's the pocket, and then we're going to now cover this one right here. Okay, let's see, let's go for some of this. Let's do this one, different color. We want to kind of mix it up a little bit. So anyway, I am just blown away by how many people have come to my channel to support me and subscribe to my channel, and all the encouraging words and comments that people give me is just amazing to me. I'm stunned. I'm just stunned. So I have to say thank you to everybody. It's just unbelievable. So what I'm thinking about, and like I keep telling you, I am going to be moving. So what I'm thinking about is that I will have a giveaway for 1,000 when I hit 1,000. Now I don't know when that's going to happen. I'm just under, and I'm going to keep this one just straight so I have a straight edge here, so it's a little bit neater. I'm just about at 700 now, and my channel just came up on May 12th. So it's been, I guess this week would be 6 weeks, and I am just amazed at the response that I've been getting from people. So if I stay on the same track at this point, I could hit 1,000 very quickly, which would just astonish me. It may happen, could happen before the fall. I don't know how quickly this would happen, but I want to start preparing for it, and I want to be able to say thank you So I am going to do a giveaway as close to 1,000 as I can get, because I don't know just how accessible I'm going to be. You know, if it happens while I'm moving and I can't get to the videos, or I can't get to, you know, doing a whole lot of stuff. So we'll just have to wait and see from there. But in the meantime, that is my plan. So I would like to try to do something for the subscribers. So that's part of my plan at the moment. So I will keep you informed and with what's going on, and how I think I'm going to do. I've never done a giveaway before. The only experience I have with them is what I've seen other people do when they've hit their milestones, and the giveaways that they do for their subscribers. So, you know, I'm at a loss. I don't really know. So I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about what what my options are and what I could possibly do. And we'll just go from there and see what happens. So I'm going to think about taking some scripts here now. And once I get past these, lining all these things up, I can go a whole lot faster and then do my best to try to cut the tags so they will fit inside. And this one can go right around there. And again, you can see I'm over this line, and that's fine because you don't want it to, just end right there. Okay, so we're going to put this one here. So anyway, so I watch people like Gail Augustinelli. I watch Rachel from Roxy Creations. I watch a lot of different people, and they're always so clever to be able to talk with you and tell you what's going on in their life, about movies that they watched and things that they've done and what's been going on, in their lives. And it's just amazing to hear what they have to say. And I think to myself, my goodness, I must be awfully boring because I don't know that I have that much to say, which is kind of, unfortunate, but I'm trying to be more conscious of that and not just talk about what I'm, working on here. But I want to make sure let me put something in here so I could see now where I'm going. So that'll be good right there. So I'm working on, trying to be more conscious about things that I do and places I may go, and, that kind of thing. So we have a little bit more to chat about while we are crafting together. So, all right, that looks pretty good. So you can see what's happening here, I think. Now that's got like a little bit of a white spot, but when we ink it, it'll blend right in with this paper. So for right now, what we have is this pocket here. We have this pocket here, this pocket here, and then this pocket, which is narrower than this. So we're set with that. I'm going to start taking some bigger pieces, and it doesn't matter how they look. These we were trying to do, relatively, neat so that we'd have the edges. But these can all be torn pretty randomly, however you want, how big, how small, how uniform, how not, whatever it is you prefer. So it's really, I just want this one to go, because it does have some writing on it. So I just want to make sure I'm not going over an edge. Here's the other edge. And we'll put that one there. And it's okay that you come off the edge of the paper, because you just go back and you trim that right off. Okay, I'm going to go for some more of this. And let's see, let's put this one up here, I think. Then I'll try to cut the tags. And I'm just going to cut it out of cardstock, and haven't quite yet decided exactly how, but it'll be sort of a simple collage. It won't be anything dramatic, but just something simple. Now let me give you a for instance here. You can see this is a white line, and you might think, oh, I want to go back. I didn't get a spot there, but this is all we'll have to do later, is just go over kind of blotchy here and there, just like that. I'll glue that down. You get some of the edges, and nobody's really the wiser about it, and that'll get done a little more neatly as we go along, but just a little kind of by the way. Okay, let's see here. All right, we'll take this one, and I think we'll put that here. I'll give this a little glue just for the sake of holding it down. So I do occasionally watch movies. I spend a lot of time watching these videos, that's for sure, and learning from some amazingly talented women out there. Some of the things that they do are just phenomenal, and I'm just, I'm in awe. I'm just in awe of these women and what they can do. So I don't watch a whole lot of movies. A lot of people will say to me, oh, have you watched this or that? And I'm like, gee, no, I haven't. I don't watch much television at all, really, when it comes right down to it. I'm trying to see how I want to put this on. I think I'm just going to put it here. I'm not a big television watcher. I don't listen to the radio. I don't read newspapers. I have this thing about me, I guess. Some would call it a gift, I suppose. And it makes it very difficult for me to listen to all the issues. And quite frankly, the news is not usually very cheery. And the radio is usually not very cheery. Music is good. I like the music, and if I want to hear music, I have my iTunes on my phone. I would say I can plug in a CD, but that's kind of obsolete anymore. Don't even have a CD player in my car anymore. So I'm just going to do this one so that I'm aware. Just put a little bit on. Particularly with this kind of paper, it just sort of makes it blend in, and see, you'd never know, hardly, ever, at all. So, what I'm going to do right now, for my sake, let me take some of this paper here. Okay, I'm just going to take this so that I can see where I am. So that's one pocket there. A little wide, but that's not too bad. One pocket there. And like I said, I'm just doing this for me so that I don't start, gluing over, gluing paper over something I shouldn't glue it over. This one's a little narrow for this pocket, but it's okay. It just gives me a hint. Now I know I have to go there. But I can come over this way. I can still go up this way. I'll do a little bit more over the sides of the pages so that when we fold it, you can see the page as a whole. And, okay, let's see. What do I want here? I would like, let's try something here. All right. So yeah, I do have issues. I'm not really a sports person. My husband is such a sports person, and when we were first dating, we started dating in November, so it was football season. And of course, we would watch TV together, and of course, we'd be watching sports, and we'd be watching football or whatever. And he'd get all excited about whatever had just happened on screen, and he's like, "Did you see that?" And I'd be like, "No." And he's like, "Well, they'll have this the instant replay, you'll see it then." So they replay it, and he's like, did you see that?" And I said, "No." And he's like, "Okay, well, when they show it in slow motion with his explanation, he goes, 'Do you see that?' And I'm like, no, I I don't see that." So I'm afraid I don't have much of a sports mentality, sadly, but it is true. So I tend to be a little boring, I guess. But I do watch, and sometimes I actually catch on, at least for baseball or something like that. I can actually catch on to what's happening. So I get very excited when I can do that for his sake. So otherwise, I have sibling-wise, my family, which right now I'm very close to because of where I am work-wise, where I've been stationed work-wise, in proximity to my family. I'm originally from New Jersey, so I have including my son, who is 31, and my one brother, and his wife and kids. They have 2 twin boys who are 33. Now, when I first came back here to New Jersey a couple of years ago, I was so excited. And my one nephew was just married, and that first year when I came back, they were expecting their first child, which I was just over the moon about. However, he was born about a month premature, and he was born in November. So nobody could really see him right away because they were concerned for his health, what might happen. So particularly anybody who had a cold. Well, guess who had a cold at that particular time? Yes, his grand aunt had a cold. So he was born in the middle of November. I didn't get to see him until just a few days before Christmas. And so I didn't get to see the first baby of our next generation, as it were. I did not get to see him right away. And I was kind of heartbroken about that. However, I did eventually get to see him. He's now a year and a half old, and he's just so incredibly handsome. He looks exactly like his father with his mother's coloring, and just a lovely little boy. His brother, the other twin, and his wife had a baby. And when do you think that baby was born? Of course, that baby was born the height of the COVID lockdown. He was born March 24th, and Aunt Judy still has not been able to see him. And Aunt Judy is heartbroken over not being able to see him. So all we do is FaceTime. I'm trying to make this just a little bit straighter. All we do is, all we're able to do, I should say, is to FaceTime with his parents and with him. So I haven't been able to see him either. So I was away for 19 years from New Jersey. Everywhere I had been, for 19 years. Everywhere I had been had not been here. My work had taken me to other places. And so I finally get here, and we were having babies being born in our family, and I can't be with them because one is born premature and I'm sick and I can't see him. And, then the other one's born during a pandemic, and it's like, what are the odds? Good grief. But anyway, this is my situation, so I am hoping and praying that before we move, the beginning of August, that this pandemic thing will be lifted and I will be able to see my little grandnephews before I move 6 hours away from them. So anyway, so I have a sister, and she and her husband and daughter live in South Carolina. I have another brother, older brother, who, my sister is also older than me. I am the youngest, excuse me, in the family. And my one older brother lives in Colorado, and I have my other brother who lives here with his wife and the twin sons with their little boys and their wives here in New Jersey. And shortly I will be off to Buffalo. So I won't be able to be with my family for very much longer on a regular basis. I will be gone again. I'm going to just leave that for right now. Okay, so that's sort of what we've got at the moment. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn this around and I'm going to try to trim this from the back. And I'd like to use, if I can find them, now that I've made a mess up all these papers, my little scissors. They're here. I know it. There they are. Okay. Because I can get so close to the edges with these little scissors. So this is what I'm going to do. So anyway, so that is my story there with my family. So even we are spread out. Now again, with my siblings being where they are, we'll be in, the four of us will be in 4 different states again. So, needless to say, it's kind of disappointing, but thank God for FaceTime. I have managed to learn how to use that, which is nice. And I can FaceTime my family and see them. It's not the same as, you know, being able to sit with them and hug them, but even right now you can't do that. So just praying for an end to this whole COVID mess, and that it will all stop soon and we'll be able to be in the company of all our loved ones again, where we can just, you know, be with them and be happy to be hanging out with them. So, all right, I'm going to just turn this way just so that you can kind of see where we are with this. I'm folding it back on itself, but it's just so that you can see how this page pans out. And what I'm going to do is, I don't care if this, you know, paper gets a little inked up. I'm just going to go, I need paper there. So let's do this. Okay, we'll do this one. I need something right in there. That is big enough. So that's that. I'm an animal lover. Currently, I have 1 dog and 3 birds. I did lose one of my birds and one of my dogs earlier this year. It's been a very rough year. I've lost a lot of friends and family members. None to the COVID, but just, you know, regular situation. Not really sure how all that happened, but it did. I'm going to take this out just so that I can get behind here. But it did, in fact, happen. I lost former employees that had become my friends from other facilities where I had worked. I've lost family members. I've lost other close friends. I've lost pets. In 4 months' time, I think, with my 2 animals included, I think I lost 11 people, and 9 people and 2 animals, you know, for one way or another. And 3 of them were in one weekend. it was just devastating. So it's been a year, and I'll be happy when this COVID thing is over, like I'm sure everybody else will be. I'm just going to trim this because you can see this just a little too much, and I don't want you to be able to see it. So this is what we have. So I'm going to take some not real thick cardstock, kind of like this. I'm going to see if I can find what I did with my other pockets. I put them somewhere. Gosh, I need a bigger desk is what I need. Oh, I'd probably just make a bigger mess. All right. I'm going to try to do my best to just measure here. So I know that this is fitting. So I'm going to go from here to here. I'm just going to put a dot. And I know that's not a real deep pocket. If I could find my other pockets, it would be lovely. I really need to find those pockets. All right. Oh, good gravy. I'm covered with glue. Okay. Let's see. I moved them out of my way, you know, to that safe place so that you'd know where they were when you had to find them. And of course now you think I could find them. There they are. Okay, they're safe now. All right, so this was the pocket that we put here. So I'm going to push this up. I'm going to make a tag that's going to fit in this pocket. I had a mark on here somewhere, but I can't remember where it was. And what I want to do is I want to make the tag just to the top of the pocket. Okay, so I'm just going to take the pocket. I'm going to measure that out, put it along the sides here. Now I'll need to do 4 of these, but right now for the sake of getting this done, I just want to show you what it will look like. And I will go back and I will do a little collaging on these tags as well. But I just wanted to show you how it would look. You will see a little bit of the tag. I think it would be nice for you to be able to see a little bit of the tag. As far, I mean, the tab that we're going to put on top of it. So let me, here, we'll do over here. I have some. So this is just regular cream colored cardstock. So what I'm going to do is, actually, you know what? I think I'm going to do it out of this. I think I like this better. So I'm going to just take over here. I'm going to get my, oops, wrong drawer. I'm going to get my whale tail punch. Oh, and this is another little thing. Let me put this down. I think I've had an aha moment with whale tail punches. You know how hard it is that everybody wanted that whale tail. Everybody wants it. So the only place you can find it is on eBay, and you have to be lucky to get a pretty good price. I bought mine for about $35, I think, plus some shipping, which I thought was a pretty good deal because other people were selling them for, you know, 70 or 100 or some ridiculous amount, which I just could not do. So, you know, I was doing it on my phone and the picture was very small, and I looked up whale tail punches, and I was new to this. I didn't know all these little nuances. So I found one that said whale tail punch. I'm like, oh, this is great. And it was $17. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is awesome, because everybody's talking about how much it costs. So I get it in the mail, and this is what I get. I get this. Okay? And I'm like, well, I got lied to. But you know, I didn't. I found another one, and of course, that was the right one. Okay? I think I figured out why they call them whale tails. This is actually called a rounded tab punch. They're called whale tails because when you turn them sideways, they look like little whales. I think that's why they call them whale tail punches. They've got a tail, there's a little eye, there's the mouth, the little, you know, back end of them. Yeah, I think that's why they call them whale tails. Anyway, we're going to use the rounded punch one. So that was my aha moment. And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to punch one out. And we're just going to fold it. And this one I will put on the top. And I'm going to put it down just, well, you know what? Let me do a little inking on it so you can see what I'm talking about, which I would have inked anyway. So, and this is the brush corduroy. I label all my little sponges so that I don't mix them up. That I'm using. Get into my ink here. And you can use the vintage photo, you know, whatever it is that you would want to use. I think this, I'm trying to kind of blend the tabs and cards with the paper somewhat, which is why I thought the darker one would look better. So let me put that over there. We're going to put this tab on here. And like I said, I want it to go down a little bit lower. Okay. So we'll put some there. We should be good. And I don't want a whole bunch. Whoa, that's way over. I don't want a whole bunch sticking up out of the top. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, so when we put the tag, and remember this is going to be decorated, and I don't want it a heavy cardstock because I am going to, you know, put some papers and things on top of it and decorate this. It needs to stay flat though, and once I do that, it'll make it thick enough, and I just don't want to add to the bulk. So this is going to go into this pocket. I can get it to go in. I think I might be just a little too wide. So I'm just going to trim down the end. Get that over there. And that will go in to the pocket. And then the only thing that sticks up, and I'm going to probably have to trim the bottom a little bit too, it looks like. So let me do that as well. Doing this in haste, trying to do it quickly. Okay, I'll get this side a little bit. I'd rather have a little bit, you know, a little bit of room than have it stick so tightly into the pocket. So that goes in, and then it's just that little tab that sticks out. So this is what we're going to do for all of our tags. So let me just do a few more of these. Okay. And though I don't have the tags cut for these, they're going to do the same kind of thing. They're just going to sit just outside the edge of the pocket like that. And that's all it's going to be. It's that simple and that easy. So this is what this whole collage piece, it's going to look like that on this side, and we're going to wrap that around to here, which I've already done, and do the collaging in there as well. You could put another long skinny pocket here if you really wanted to do that. I'm not going to. I'm going to put a card like I did for Angela's here, the way I did before, to keep it somewhat similar in some of the things. So that's where we are with this. So when this is actually folded the way it's supposed to fold, it will go, because I folded it back on itself here. All right. So this is this way. So it'll go like that, and then that folds that way. This is going to fold back this way, which it doesn't want to do right now because I folded it back for the sake of doing it. This will all be collaged. You'll have the same setup mirrored on this side. This seam where I added the new piece of paper that wasn't in Angela's will be covered. right up to the edge. We're going to trim it just like we trimmed along the edges here. So that'll be nice and straight. And then we'll turn, and this is the added pages that I just put in. I'm doing side tuck, you know, tall, like Yvonne Preston does her long things. And then I'm not sure what's going there. Then there'll be writing here, something there. This will be the picture frame. Writing here, it's bound in here, so it's not going to turn that way. And then we're back to the front where the tuxedo pocket would be again. So, though it won't flip that way because I will have it bound here on this piece. So it's only going to go out from the middle here. Okay? That's where it's going to be bound. So it'll go this way, and then it'll go this way. And then you can turn it back that way, and you can turn it back that way. Okay? So that is where we are with this. So this is our collage piece. I'm going to continue on and finish this off and finish over here. I'll make the tags, and I'll probably completely make the tags. And, you know, we'll just kind of go from there and see where that leads us. Like I said, I'm not going to do this whole entire piece on in videos. I just wanted to do things that were a little different or not the normal, like just making a tag. I'll make the tags off screen because, you know, you'll see what they look like when they're done, and people kind of know how to make tags. But how I did the collaging, how I wanted to do this piece, how I did the tuxedo pocket, how I will do the picture frame, okay, and the little thing that clips it on to keep it from flipping down. Just those things, and in between I will work on it, and then it will eventually be finished. And once it's finished, I'll have the rest of the journal finished, and then I will do a complete flip through of that journal. And that has been promised to somebody for a very, very long time. So I need to get it done. So anyway, that's it for today with this, and hopefully I'll be back. I'm hoping by the end of the week with more of this done, and I highly doubt that I can have all of it done, but I'll do my best, and hopefully I'll be able to start getting that into the journal itself and finish it off and get it on its merry way to where it belongs. So that's it for today. God bless everybody. Be safe, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.